Hey everyone, I want to do a longer video. I've been doing some shorts. I want to talk about these amazing arrowheads. And there's a lot of these, like little face stones, bird stones. It's amazing what they did with their stones. Like here's one here. Is that like a face on there maybe? A little bit of a face possibly. They put a lot of faces on their stones. Truly amazing. When I first found these stones, I thought they were American Indians, because I was finding scraps and I was digging into wagon trail and it was just a lot of like loose gravel and stuff. And I've worked my way up. I've found more and more stuff. And there's so many of them. There was so many people living here in New Jersey at one time. And I'm talking like, there might have been some big people too, because I discovered where there's a Stonehenge, New Jersey, where there's massive stone piles. And then there's a giant's eagle's head up on the top of the hilltop. It's pretty amazing. And then below the eagle's head, down below the eagle's head is where the original King's Treasures vault is. It's truly amazing what they did. 1825 is when they started working on the Mars Canal. And the Mars Canal, they started working on it right here in Roxbury, New Jersey. Ledgewood, New Jersey is where they started working on it. And then they had the canal completed from Ledgewood, New Jersey to Pennsylvania, and then from Ledgewood, New Jersey to Newark in 7 years. 7 years they completed the Mars Canal from Pennsylvania all the way to Newark. And then they needed to complete the canal to go from Newark to New York Harbor, because without the connection to New York Harbor, how could you get treasures inland? There's no way you can move treasures inland unless you have a canal, because treasures are extremely heavy. Gold, silver, it's very heavy. And back then they only had wagons. They didn't have, gas-powered stuff, and it was wagons and buggies, pulling them, and that's what they did. So they had a canal. So they completed the canal from Newark to New York Harbor, 1832 to 1835. They owned the canal system. The people, the Masons, the great men that fought for our country to start a new country based on an ancient civilization of people. And they had to cover it all up because they didn't want anybody to know that, hey, Atlantis was right here in New Jersey. Go look for it over there on the other side of the world. It's under the ocean. It's got to be somewhere over there. Go look for it. Well, they did a lot of stuff, he who controls information controls, future, it's the way it is. They were the good men. They did the right thing for people. They were always fighting against the evil people. The evil people wanting to enslave you. They want to take away your religious rights. And they want to do other things to you that are not right. You're not being free. So all these artifacts that I've discovered are, I believe, from the ancient civilization that our country was founded on. In Roxbury Township, New Jersey is where it all happened. And it started all the way back in the 1600s, even before John Rogers, who I believe was in the Knights Templars, purchased the land from the American Indians in 1708. And 1710 was when all the settlers came here, according to the records. But those people they did a lot of work. And I found their workings to the land, and I found where they planted some trees. And they built this big treasure vault up on the side of this hillside, 30 feet below the ground, with like a 300-foot long tunnel going into it. And then when you walk inside of it, because somebody broke into it, and it had it gated up, and it was open. So I go, all right, we'll go in. I want to go in there and take some pictures. And when you walk through this long tunnel, it's like 300-foot long tunnel, there's light that comes down through the center opening. So if, like the King's Treasures are there, the light would come down on the King's Treasures and light it all up. Pretty amazing. And then what they did was in 1825, when they built the Mars Canal, they put the canal right through the vault. They ran this big metal pipe, it looks like, down underneath, because they did an evaluation of the canal system up there. There's a holding pond on top, and then that's where you would pull the barges up onto the big stone platform, and then the stone platform goes all the way down the hill. So that's what they would do. They would go, but then there was like a water trough. They had this pipe, and they ran a little pipe through the center of the vault, and then down through the center of the right down through the center of the tunnel system, and it looks like they had a wooden trough in there because they, just, and then people would just see a thing and say, oh, it's a water tower storage area, but no, it wasn't a water tower storage area. It was an area for where they had treasures, and then they had moved them again. They moved them again because they put in the canal and they could do it. And the people that moved the treasures here a long time ago, they busted their asses to do what they did. I tell you, that was back in the day. No steam-powered stuff. Everything was hand. I mean, one property, I believe I found 30 years. They worked on the property for 30 years. And then what they did was when New Jersey, when Roxbury was founded. Roxbury was founded on December 24, 1740. And that was after they completed, I believe, all their workings of the land. And then, and then it started again in the Civil War time, and they went in slavery, and then they put in all these tunnel systems, and then they did the Underground Railroad in Roxbury Township, New Jersey. And they had to keep it secret. They wanted to help everyone. They were the good people. That's what they did. They were the good people fighting against the evil people. The evil people that always want to control you and do the things to make it so you're not free. And that's what the Masons did. And they were all churchmen, and they were good men, and they did what they had to do, to fight off the evil people, the Robin Hoods. And I believe that they went around and they cleaned up most of the treasure around the world because they had all the ex-slaves that were pirates and the stories with their families. And they went around the world and they sucked it all up because they had an easy way to bring it inland and nobody knew it because they owned the canal system. You owned the barges. You'd come right up the Mars Canal, boom, right around the backside of one of the property, 300 feet from the top of the mill facility. And then in that one neighborhood, I believe, they had storage areas all through the neighborhood. And then they placed trees there later on. They said, hey, we had a storage vault here. Had another storage vault here, another storage vault here, another storage vault here, another storage vault here. Because you couldn't bring all the treasures and store them in one place. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. You got to spread it out all over the place. And I believe a few of those stashes are still in Roxbury. They're out there. Someone's going to find it. If I'm not going to find it, somebody else is going to find it. They brought a lot of treasures here. In one neighborhood, that is the Horseshoe neighborhood, that turned into the letter M. The secret letter M that's on the back of the dollar bill. Pretty amazing, right? If you ever look at the back of the dollar bill, there's a secret letter M that's in the bottom corner of the dollar bill, in the bottom of the E. And that neighborhood that's in the form of a horseshoe turns into the letter M when they put in Route 10 in 1956. And the pyramids on the back of the dollar bill is the roadways they created in the 1700s because they had a canal in the bottom end. And then they dug out, part of a lake. And then they put in Main Street in 46. And they had a canal going across. So it already had a canal pond at the top. And it was the pyramid. It was all there. So I just wanted a little bit of talking here with these artifacts, which is amazing artifacts here. And I believe when they founded our country, they covered all this stuff up because they didn't want anyone to know they had a big fortress in the woods, and they utilized the ancient civilized workings for the good of mankind against the evils. And in 1935, they put everything on the back of the dollar bill in memory. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed my little talk. Have a great night.